basically the roots of the whole festival came from the idea of like taking metal and hardcore, combining everything, both genres of extreme music, if you want to call it that. I began in 1999 when I went to a festival in the Midwest with Shadows Fall.
We had played at the Milwaukee Metal Fest years and years and years ago, and Scott had made that happen for us by pulling some, well, I should say many strings.
And we were basically watched it, looked at it, we're like, walking around the festival, the vending area, and saw, people just miserable.
Playing the Palladium, it's always one of those places that growing up you're seeing shows. Yeah, it's like your Golden Goose in Massachusetts. Like this is a venue, as a band coming from Massachusetts that you want to play. There's there was Bill's Bar and there were other venues, but as far as Worcester and Massachusetts and people coming here, it's like the Palladium. You know what I mean? Like this is like that mecca that you come to and you can play. Even if you play in front of 21 kids, it doesn't matter.
I think it's like for us being, from New England and everything, it's like our fest, you know what I mean? Like you have Syracuse had Hellfest and, everybody's got their fest, but I think it was always like we always felt like home at Metal Fest. Even though it was a fest and you'd see people from everywhere, it was just like playing a big show at home. So I think for us, that's what makes it different.
I think we've probably, All That Remains has missed, I think 2, maybe 3 Metal Fests in the past 13 or 14 years, however long it's been going on. So, we're fortunate to be from the area. We've worked with Scott for a long time, and Scott's been a good friend of mine for longer than Metal Fest has been going on.
My first experience at Metal Fest, I was a little kid. I didn't know anybody. I was terrified out of my mind. It was probably, what are we on, Metal Fest 14? So somewhere around Metal Fest 2. And actually, I went to Red Rocket Records, which was Scott Lee's record store. And I didn't know Scott Lee from a hole in the wall. Just some big dude. And I walked in, and I'm like, hey man, trying to make small talk. I'm like, did you check out Metal Fest? And he laughed, and he's like, yeah. He's like, what's that on? I'm like, no. He's like, me. And I was like, all right, I'll see you.
That's where the whole thing came about, and this came from the idea of the New England scene being very, very metal and very, very hardcore. And you just put it together. And that's what the Metal Fest is about. We start working on the festival about a week after the previous festival, whether it comes down to like, bookings, finding out who's doing what, who's touring, who's coming over from overseas, who's got new records out. The booking aspect is it's kind of like an art form. We work out of the Crimson Management office where, people all year round are working on it, whether it's being people like Eric Powell, Nick Holman, Leo Urbano, and the Palladium, me and John Peters, and we try to put the whole thing together in an aspect of like, what the fans want to see. It's not something you do overnight. It's not something you learn how to do. We've been doing it for 15 years. There's a lot of trial and errors. We've built a formula, and sometimes we have to adjust the formula.
And obviously, just like anything else, the first one is always kind of a mess, and you learn as you go, and every year that goes by, it just gets more organized and more organized, and just over time, just became what it is.
The first year we played, we've played a lot of shows since. First year I was so nervous. We could joke about it. Like, I almost went down. Like I was going oh my god, so many people. It's such such a huge thing.
We didn't even have an album out the first time we played. Like we just got signed to Prosthetic, and album came out later that year. So we showed up. We're just flipping out. I'm on stage just It was brutal. We didn't have time. We were late, kind of late getting here, and didn't have time to drink beer, and it was just
kind of crucial to us.
screwing our world for sure. But
Yeah, but it's always been great every year. It's been a fucking blast.
Actually, we were talking about it earlier. The first time we played, it was the spring that we had just recorded Peace and Security, and or I think we were writing it, and yeah, we played. I think it was like the second year that they did it, and it was fucking awesome. We played the second stage, and we didn't know what to expect, but it was great. Animals, yeah. Kids went ape shit because we didn't know, Metal Fest. It was new, and we're like, we had a little metal influence, but we pictured it to be, like, I don't know, more metal kids than anything but kids. It was kids from everywhere, and it was like just huge, awesome hardcore show. So yeah, first memory was good.
Oh man, the first one was I want to say it was 2004, or 2004. It was with Since the Flood playing guitar, and then we played for I want to say 5 straight years on the main stage. It was awesome. It's always been the best.
It's always a nice thing to do because it's not just like a regular show where you go and there's a 4-band package and you go in there, you do your thing, you get out and have your fun, and that's it. I mean, you're there all day, all night. Everybody's excited about everyone that's playing, regardless. They're just from noon until midnight. They're just amped up, and that's a lot different from just a regular show.
Watching bands, and their careers develop into, being a headliner. That's what every band wants to be eventually, is a headliner for the New England Metal and Hardcore Festival. So basically, the rooms. We have 2 stages constantly going. Upstairs stage is great for a hardcore band. You get, like when Terror plays, it's always a good time. Scott Vogel, stage dive, come up front, stage dive. It's such a good time just watching people go nuts up there. In the main room downstairs, it's the bigger room. It's more like theatrical scenarios and different things like that. It's just big space, big, huge stage. And it's awesome. Both rooms are incredible. These rooms are made for this festival.
Downstairs, but I'm always more of a downstairs kind of guy. The less people, the better.
But downstairs is like Metallica shit. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it sounds so boomy and huge. It's just amazing.
Dude, tough call. I mean, obviously, playing downstairs, there's a whole bunch of people, big stage, all that. There's pros and cons to both. Playing upstairs, crowds like in your face right here. You get to fucking step on them, scream in their faces, everything.
Hey, big guy.
Both are awesome.
Playing upstairs is great. I would never want to play downstairs. No, not ever in a million years. That's not my style, no, not at all. But it was fun.
Freaking upstairs. Upstairs, all day long. Way better. For us, what I've noticed is that because we're awkward, the staring this time was more intense.
It's tough. I mean, main stage is good because you can play in front of thousands of kids, but upstairs you get intimate show, no barricade, you're right there in the kid's face, and so it's definitely I like to play both, If it's a sold out show upstairs, it's definitely great, but even tonight was sold out downstairs in the main room, and it was also awesome.
Upstairs, of course.
Always. Why?
It's just small, there's nowhere to run. You know what I mean? You see those people piling on, it's like the energy, there's no room for it to get out. Downstairs it's way bigger and spread out, you can run to the back of the room.
You're free.
Yeah, and you're free, you're good. You see, but even upstairs though, you see the little kids who think we bring an asshole crowd. It's just, we're a positive band. I mean, if you read the lyrics, you still see kids in the background pointing and, singing the words. It's cool.
The upstairs room, smaller room, but it has the vendors in the balcony of it. The vendors are a very key situation for the fest, and we want to make it like a mall, like a metal and hardcore mall, if you want to say it like that. It's like, where people would buy things that they're like, that they couldn't get at FYE, Hot Topic, or their, local chain store because there's really no mom and pops left.
Just to open up, obviously, to new audiences, a broader span of people, and we have a big audience here in Worcester, so we figured, we can capitalize on that.
Also, sponsors are a big thing. We've had, All In Merch, who's been a key sponsor for the festival for many years now, and those guys can do our merch, probably do about 50% of the band's merch to play the festival. Monster's always on top of the game with us, giving away free Monster. We've had other record labels like Metal Blade, Death Wish, Artery, tons of different labels that are involved with it in many different ways, shape, or forms.
It's a great thing to see people that you've met in the industry or throughout in other bands or labels and things all together in one place, just having a good time, and that doesn't happen very often.
Watching people that wouldn't think they'd ever play something like this and basically playing and having a blast doing it, that's exciting for me.
It's a huge advantage for any band to be involved, not just for being in front of a lot of people. Say you're not in front of a lot of people. Say you're playing first on the big stage at 11:30 in the morning and there's 100 people there. Those 100 people are gonna have fun because they wouldn't be there that early if they weren't there to see everything, first of all. And secondly, just having your name attached to the event in itself is something right there. And you're gonna get more out of it just as an up and coming band, just saying you were a part of the event rather than the people that are actually watching you play, regardless of how many there are.
People get excited about the festivals. Bands get really excited about the festival. They bring their A game. They know this is a platform where they're gonna be viewed by photographers and press people. People are reviewing the show, and they understand that they have to bring their A game to it. There's definitely people there always hanging out. You know, that's another great thing about the festival is like people are so accessible. You know, and you'll be walking down the street and you see, you know, you'll be like, oh, cool. There's Vincent Bennett from the Acacia Strain just hanging out. I'm gonna go say hi to him. It's cool. You know, it's very accessible. It's very cool. It's a great atmosphere. My favorite moments of Metal Fest are seeing my friends that I haven't seen in a long time, or meeting new people from far off lands and being excited about that.
Seeing everybody that you see once or twice a year, it's always a good show. I don't know, it's like a big family reunion.
Friends. Abs 100%. My favorite part about Metal Fest is friends, because it's everybody, you know, from surrounding states. You know, this is the one fest that everybody goes to, you know?
My favorite part is hanging with all the friends who are just coming to play.
Yeah, get to see a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time, so it's pretty cool.
Seeing every single person that I would like to see on tour in one day is good.
I think the best part about Metal Fest is the excuse to see every like touring band that we're friends with and everybody that works in our industry together for like 1 week, and I think that's like, it's just a really cool like time we can all come together and hang out because we don't get to see each other so often.
Dude, you get to see a bunch of bands. I like, I just like being able to like see.
I'd say seeing friends and, I don't know, forcing, like, using all these other bands' huge draws so we can play to like more people than we're used to playing to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Objects on the stage are not near as large as they appear. Which is awesome.
I'm a fan of this music. That's why I do this, and that's exciting enough for me. And that's what I look for every year. I love doing this, and I love making this happen. It's a passion, you know. I'm not making $1 million off of it, but it's just like, you know, it's something that I, you know, wanted to do, and I put my mind to it. And I get to see a big show every year, and it's awesome.